Nigerian senators yesterday at the Senate House issued strong warning to South Africa amid renewed xenophobic attacks on Nigerians. Yesterday, Tuesday, May 5, 2026, Nigerian Senate condemned the recurrent xenophobic attacks against Nigerians in South Africa, following the deaths of at least 2 Nigerians and reports of widespread unrest that prompted over 130 Nigerians to seek voluntary repatriation. The upper chamber adopted a tough diplomatic and humanitarian stance while stopping short of endorsing direct economic retaliation against South African businesses. Senator Adams Oshomole specifically recommended that Nigeria should withdraw the license of MTN, a company owned by South Africans. And then not just that, he revealed that the current South African president, Cyril Ramaphosa, has a huge investment in MTN, and not just
DSTV as economic measures to show that we are not just yes. I support you, but we must revoke the license of MTN, revoke the license of DSTV as an indication of our seriousness. Those people who have died, their life is much more than foreign investment. What are you talking? They are killing your people who say labor.
Those in support that was not the motion.
You can dismiss it, but that's my view.
Those in support that was not the motion.
To bite,
before us
to
say
bite and bite.
Those against say nay. That was not the motion. So
in 2019, July, they killed Nigerians. I was Senate President. Mr. President, I invited the High Commissioner, the South African High Commissioner here. Those who are in attendance probably could remember what happened, particularly Senator Ojikalu, who was then the chief whip. I told him to his face, enough is enough. You can't be killing our people while your businesses flourish here. And whether black kills black, they are the ones killing us. We are not killing them. They are prospering here. And therefore, we cannot be giving you very convenient climate environment for you and your businesses. Meanwhile, you will not allow us even have decent livelihood by trading or doing businesses in your country. So, Mr. President, this is something that we need to do. I don't know whether you would like to do that. Engage with the South African embassy here. I don't know, but this is your choice. You and the leaders of the Senate or the National Assembly. Mr. President, Nigeria has membership in the Pan-African Parliament based in Johannesburg, South Africa. This is one kind of issue. If we still have members there who are here representing us, this is the kind of issue that we take to the Pan-African Parliament and debate it, because we are affected. And the members, I don't know whether you have them here, but they are supposed to be in the Senate and in the House. Normally the Senate leader is a member from here and one additional person.
And my point is not only informed by the fact that we were all contributors to the struggle against apartheid. I remember very well that it was because of the struggle against apartheid that a Nigerian president, then head of state, Murtala Mohammed, declared before the Americans that Henry Kissinger, who was Secretary of State, was not welcome to Nigeria. In the words of General Murtala Mohammed, he said the era of gunboat diplomacy was over. Nigeria's commitment to eradication of apartheid is non-negotiable. And they proceeded to nationalize British petroleum because the British too were supporting apartheid. So I can understand the pain that where we have built relationship, today we are looked at as if we are a burden. But for me, sir, I didn't come to the Senate to lament what is not right. And I know that in diplomacy, there is a law of reciprocity. What are the issues in South Africa? the president of South Africa did campaign openly that foreigners were taking the jobs that South African people could do. That is why his hands and his legs are tied. What is my response? These Nigerians who are in South Africa, they are not there on holiday. They are there to work and to earn. And which kind of job they are doing? There are two categories. Many are traders, others are doing maybe some high-skilled jobs. So my view is that it is time to reciprocate. This Senate should adopt a position that MTN, a South African company that is cutting away millions of dollars from Nigeria every day, that Nigeria nationalize it and withdraw its license, so that Nigeria company can take over the MTN business and recruit more people. Those coming from South Africa will find good jobs working with the company that will replace MTN. And I know that South African president has interest in MTN. The second is that we ask the Minister of Communication of the federal government to revoke the DSTV, which is also a South African company that is cutting away millions of dollars, even abusing, resorting to practices that will not even be accepted in South Africa. I don't want this Senate to be shedding tears, to sympathize with those who have died. We didn't come here to shed tears, and I'm not going to shed tears. If you hit me, I hit you. I think it is appropriate in diplomacy. It's an economic struggle. What the black South Africans are saying is that Nigerians are taking their jobs. Okay, Nigerians, come home. I take over the job of MTN. Nigerians, come home. I take over the job of DSTV. When we hit back, the president of South Africa will not only talk, he will go on his knees to recognize that Nigerians cannot be intimidated, and we do not condone any one life being lost. If a crime has been committed under South African law, they have the right to bring any sort of person to justice. But to kill our people as if we are helpless, we are not. By the time we turn in the economic hardship, we withdraw MTN license. Those people coming from Nigeria, from South Africa will have good jobs to do. Let South Africa continue with their jobs. Balance of madness, I believe there will be sanity, and we will tweak our bilateral relationship in a manner that is a win-win. Right now, Nigeria trade deficit with South Africa. South Africa is the one benefiting. So my colleagues,
some of the terrible horror scenes emanating from South Africa are already very bereaved. It's very horrific. It's not something I can even recount here. I made a lot of phone calls, and but please, we should not take the action of recommending withdrawal of licenses of South African companies yet, because we need foreign investments in Nigeria. We should rather, as a simple motion that Abdul Ningi, I have not yet apologized to you, came and told you the statement. I was watching him when he came with anger.
accepted. Apology accepted. Constitutional orders accepted, sir. Mr. President, my name is Senator Abdul Ningi, representing Bauchi Central, and I rise to raise the constitutional order part 2 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. Section 4, legislative of the National Assembly. First and second, the National Assembly shall have powers to make laws for the peace, order, and good government of the Federation or any part thereof, with respect to any matter included in the exclusive legislative list set out in part 1 of the second schedule to this Constitution. over what you can say for and on behalf of Nigerians, on behalf of people of Nigeria.
Constitutional point of order is upheld. You may wish to contribute.
Mr. President, it is sad, tragic, that in this 21st century, the people of South Africa, and of course, some government officials, without recourse to looking at the history, without recourse to looking at the black race, without recourse to be doing what they are doing, which they have done in 1998, they repeated it in 2011, they repeated it in 2017, they did it again in 2020, and it is continuous, and it has been. We have alternatives, we have options, and therefore these words should be sent across to South Africa. We know where South Africans are, not only Nigeria but all over Africa.
In a way that will show that the government is not behind it. A lot of motorcycles watching, and some using their phones to video, while a Nigerian who was dragged from the kitchen is being murdered. For what? For what? For being in South Africa. That means that South Africa is something we must call organizations like the United Nations. They should take action. It's not something that is a Nigerian thing alone. You know, Botswana has gone to pick their citizens from there. They've gone to the border. Zimbabweans are doing the same. Ghanaians are trying to withdraw their citizens, and Nigeria must do something very, 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 very urgent.
To the South Africans, to Nigerians that are in South Africa, that they are on their own. So when the Senate of the Federal Republic speaks, it speaks more than the minister. It speaks more than the ambassador. It sends a clear signal that we can take revenge after diplomacy has failed. So it is important that the world should know that we are concerned. We have seen what they have done, not only to Nigerians, but we've seen what they have done to Zimbabweans, to Ghanaians. And you know, when you remove the Nigerian populace in South Africa, there will be no resistance whatsoever. Our people resisted it, and it is because in the course of resistance that they were lynched, killed in broad daylight. The South African security watch, and you could see them hiding behind these mobs. That means that particular thing, it wasn't just a mob, it was organized, orchestrated, and the government came with a very lamentable information that please stop doing this. Are South Africans not having military? Are they not having police? Are they not having other security apparatus? They do. And they have the gadgets. They have the ability to stop what is being happening. Have they done it? They have not done it, Mr. President. So it is incumbent upon the People's Chamber, and of course, led by you, Mr. President, to speak seriously about this matter. And if this thing continues, we have alternatives. We have options. And therefore, these words should be sent across to South Africa. We know where South Africans are, not only Nigeria, but all over Africa. And we can take this fight to their territory, if need be. But we cannot sit down and, typical of some of us, lament when these things is happening. There is no duplicate. Life has no duplicate. All of a sudden you are killed. Your families have lost you for no reason whatsoever. Mr. President, I think this is as serious as it gets. And today, sir, if this is the only thing the People's Chamber, the Senate of the Federal Republic will discuss, please be it. I thank you for listening.
And one, to mandate the committees on foreign affairs, diaspora, and cooperation and integration in Africa to liaise with the Nigerian High Commission in Pretoria to establish a 24-hour emergency response desk and legal aid fund for distressed Nigerians in South Africa, and liaise with federal government to develop and publicize a comprehensive evacuation contingency plan for Nigerians in volatile provinces, including financial and logistical support for those willing to return home. Additional prayers, Mr. Speaker, to urge the federal government to review all bilateral agreements with South Africa, including trade and aviation treaties, targeted economic measures, including temporary suspension of issuance of business permits to new South African companies, and a review of tax incentives enjoyed by existing South African firms in Nigeria, pending demonstrable steps by South Africa to halt all these attacks, prosecute perpetrators, and compensate victims. Mr. Speaker, the last prayer here will be to mandate the Committee on Foreign Affairs, Cooperation and Integration in Africa to interface with the South African Parliament through the Pan-African Parliament to demand legislative actions against xenophobic.
Not just apart from Senator Adams Oshiomhole, Senator Ningi also suggested that Nigeria can also retaliate South Africa in various ways. So South Africans who have decided to go into Stone Age approach, they don't have monopoly of violence, they don't have monopoly of attack. There are South Africans also in Nigeria. South Africans have huge businesses in Nigeria. I don't know if in comparison whether there are more South African businesses in Nigeria than Nigerian businesses in South Africa, but all I know, in Lagos and in Abuja and various places, South Africans have a lot of business. They are landlords. I know one Nigerian pastor who revealed that his landlord in Lagos was a South African and nobody is disturbing them. They are living their normal lives. So South Africans move from fighting against illegal and undocumented foreigners to every foreigner must go. This is madness. And I love what Senator Godswill Akpabio said, the Senate President. South African government is deaf and blind. They are doing nothing. They are not saying anything. Like I said before, the last speech that Cyril Ramaphosa made in connection to this useless xenophobic attack, he said, respect our laws, as you want us to respect your laws. Which law are Nigerians breaking? Which law are other Africans breaking? That you brought people from the community, shanties, to enter the cities and be causing unrest, disrupting businesses that they cannot develop and create. So I love how Nigerian senators voiced out their frustration and issued a strong warning to South Africa. If nothing is done, and if the government of South Africa continue to, turn deaf ears and turn blind eyes to these unnecessary attacks mobilized by illiterates, those who don't know about business. You want foreigners to go out of your country on what ground? Not on the ground that they are illegal and undocumented. Just that you don't want them to go, you want jobs. This job, you can't create them. This job, you are not qualified to do them. You just want them to go. It can't happen. I have said it before, there is no way Nigerians, all black Africans will leave South Africa. It can never happen. Because South Africans are also littered all over the world. In Nigeria alone, we have thousands of South Africans. Do you know how many people that are working for MTN in Nigeria? Do you know how many people are working for DSTV in Nigeria? So many of them. And you look at people that can't read, that doesn't even know what economy is all about, and they wake up one morning and they were mobilized by one lady called Jacinta Zuma, who was sacked because of her behavior, sacked from the radio station where she was working. So it was easy for her to mobilize people of her kind who know nothing, who are just out to make noise. I've watched some videos that were made by some of these people. One South African youth said that foreigners are the reason why he's not sleeping. Foreigners are the reason why their ladies are not getting married to them. Foreigners are the reason why they can't drink water. Foreigners become all of your problem. The economic freedom fighters leader, Julius Malema, asked them, all this match by match you are doing, how many jobs have you created? Nothing. Using Stone Age approach, the government is doing nothing because Ramaphosa wants to win the election. That's why the politics is terrible. He wants to win the election, so he will not address this thing directly. He's making useless to me, useless statements that does not address this madness. If he continues to keep quiet, Nigerians will rise too. Nigerians will bring up their own approach also to drive South Africans out of Nigeria.